Welcome back to the Insane Asylum. This is your host, Commander Asylum of the Initiative. So, for this lesson, I want to give you some examples of how you can find fits for doing different things. So, one of the most useful tools for finding fits, especially for PvP, is going to be ZKillboard. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull ZKillboard up here. I'm going to find some fits. I'm going to import them into the game and show you how you can get your hands on these. So let's say that I'm interested in flying a Rifter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search Rifter. Okay, next, I want to take a look at the best pilots. I want to take the fits from the best pilots. So we're going to go top. We can go monthly, all-time, or all-time. I like to go monthly because it shows me what's in the meta now. You can do all-time as well, though, if you want. This takes a little while for this to load. Okay, now this is loaded. I can see the number of kills that each of these pilots have in the past month. So what I want to do is I want to take a look at these top people, because just because they're the top pilot doesn't mean that they are flying the way that I want to fly. Maybe they're a low-sec pilot and I want to be a null-sec pilot, or maybe they're a wormholer and I want to do high-sec ganking. So that all matters. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the top few of these here. I'm going to take a look at what kind of PvP they do. Alright, so Bloody James spends a lot of his time in low-sec. Same for this person. Same for that person. This person does a lot of fleet PvP. This person does more small gang PvP. How I know that is I can look here and I can look at the number of people that are on these kills. So the green lines here are the times that this person killed something. And I look at this. These numbers in parentheses tell me how many people were in on that kill. So I see a person who has lots of large numbers on there. They are a fleet PvPer. This person here only has 2, 3, 4, or sometimes even solo on there, so they are much smaller gang, and they do a lot of solo PvP as well. But if you look at Bloody James here, he has just tons and tons of solo kills. And he's one of the top Rifter pilots. So let's say, yeah, this is the kind of PvP I am interested in doing. It's just solo PvP and a frigate in low sec. So next thing I want to do is I'm not able to see the fits that he has on his kills. So if I look at this right here, he killed a Merlin. If I open up this kill mail, he killed a Merlin while he was in a Rifter. But I'm not able to see what his fit looks like. I can tell that he killed this Merlin while he was in a Rifter, and he used 150mm light autocannons too. But I'm not able to tell anything else other than that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at his losses and look at the time he lost a Rifter. Here's a Rifter that he lost. Okay, let's take a look at that. Now there is his fit. So since he died, it reported his fit when he died. So let's say, okay, let's go ahead and give this a shot. I want to try out this fit. So next thing I'm going to do is I got two choices here. I can import fit via ESI, which I'll actually import it directly into the game client itself, but I have to be logged into ZKillboard for that to work. Let's say I do not want to log into ZKillboard. I can go to Eve Workbench instead. So I click on this, and it's going to bring this fit up here in this very handy website called Eve Workbench. Now, I want to import this into the game so that I can build and fly this myself. So I'm going to click on the EFT tab, and right here I have a string of text that details what the fit was. Now, this is the fit when he died. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight everything, and I'm going to copy it. Now I'm going to go to my game client. I'm going to open my ship fitting window. Now with this open, I'm going to click on this box with an arrow coming out of it and select import from clipboard. Now this brings up a fitting window from what's in my clipboard. We just copied that fit in the clipboard. So this is that Bloody James's fit right here. So I'm going to go ahead and simulate it to see if I can even fly this ship. Okay. Now I got some warnings on here. So my skills are not good enough to fly this ship as it is fit right now. There's some certain skills that you can learn that help you be able to fit ships. So there's some skills that'll increase your CPU capacity, and some skills that'll help out your power grid capacity. So if this person is maxed out on those skills and I'm not, and he builds his fit so that he's barely squeaking in on these requirements, then when I look at it, I don't have enough CPU or power grid to fly this. So I'm either lacking skills or I'm lacking implants. And there's implants that I can buy and put on my pod that'll help me get over this edge. It'll add a little bit of CPU, or it'll add a little bit of power grid. So you can use implants to kind of help out there, or you can find some of these modules here that are taking up a lot of space. So like these gyro stabilizers here, I know if I turn one of these off, see, that brings my CPU down. So I could decide I'm going to not do this gyro stabilizer. Instead, I want to use a different module, maybe a compact module that won't use as much CPU. So you can kind of tweak this fit so that you can actually fly it. Additionally, I got this yellow book here, this right here. This tells me I don't have the skills to use all the stuff that's on here. So it tells me how long it would take me to train in my skill queue to be able to just fly this fit as it is. And then it shows me all of those skills that I need and how much I need to train into them to do it. And then from there, it allows me to just buy all of these skill books and then put them into my training queue so that I can train them. If I instead just clicked add to queue, it's only going to add the ones that I've already bought. It won't buy the new skills for me. So okay, so now let's say, hey, I like this ship. I would like to fly it. So if you go back to my old video that I posted about how to get new ships, this is going to be very much the same process. What you're going to do is you got your fit still open here in this window. You click on buy. And since I'm in JITA 4.4, which is one of the major trading hubs, every single one of these components in this fit is going to be available on market. If I am not in JITA 4.4, if I'm in a different trade hub that's not as populated, or if I'm just in the middle of nowhere and I'm trying to do this, then a lot of these things are not going to be available for me to buy. In which case, you have two choices. One, you come to JITA, you buy it, and then you move this ship out yourself, or you come to JITA, you buy it, and you hire a hauling company to haul it to where you want to fly it. And that can take up to a day or two for that to happen. But it could be a lot safer because hauling is a very invested career path to do. So, and then of course you don't have to do either of those. You could just find where all these are near you and then run around and collect all those parts and pieces. But that is a very frustrating, time-consuming process, and I do not recommend you do it. Typically what we do is we find a fit that we like. I go to buy here in JITA, and I just buy a bunch of them. Let's say I want to buy 10 of these things. So it's going to update all these buy orders, and then I would buy this. And then when I have all this stuff in my inventory, I will then make a contract to Red Frog Freight or PushX and have them haul all this stuff out to where it is I want to fly this thing. And that's what I would do. And then when my ship gets blown up, I can just go back to my station, pull out another ship, and go and fly it. I don't have to spend days trying to put together another ship. Okay, let's talk about some other things that we have to find fits. So we talked about ZKillboard. Another really fantastic place is Ashy in Space. This is a blog. Was a CEO of a wormhole corp. She talks about lots of ships in detail about what she likes about them, what she does not like about them, and she includes fits. So if I like, hey, the Humble Jamgu, I want to try out this heavy armor tank Humble Jamgu. Well, if you remember on the Eve workbench, we had that string of text that I could copy to my clipboard and then import into the ship fitting window in game. Well, this is the same thing here. So I could just highlight this, copy it, then I go back to the game. I can import to clipboard. This is an old fit, so I have this warning pop up. So this fit is actually kind of old. So there was an item on this fit that no longer exists today. So CCP got rid of the item and turned it into either something else, or they just got rid of it entirely. And that's the case here. So when I actually simulate this thing, I'm probably going to have a hole in my fitting. So we have to figure out what to do with that. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and simulate. Okay, there's that hole, and that was an adaptive membrane. I'll tell me what it is again. If I import, let's see what that was. Import from clipboard, Navy, energized adaptive nano membrane. So that is something that helps with the armor tank. So I could replace that with anything that'll increase my armor resistances here in this spot. And then I can just do the same thing. I can hit buy, and then it's going to populate. I can buy all these items and have it shipped out to where I want to fly it, put it together there, and go have fun. Okay, let's talk about another really useful resource. So we talked about Ashley in space. There's also Eve Workbench. You saw this before, but you can just go to the base Eve Workbench site, look at your best rated fits here, and you can see these fits that people have used that are effective and that they like. And they kind of tell you what these things are used for. We got a Winter Nexus going on right now, so I have a lot of Winter Nexus fits that are on here. And you're going to find a lot more of your PvE fits here on Eve Workbench, whereas ZKillboard was more focused on PvP fits. Okay, another great thing, if you're interested in going to the Abyss, this is where you're going to find a lot of your Abyss fits. So to do that, so this is abysstracker.com. I'm going to click on fits. Let's give it a second to load. And here you can see the most popular fits. So I'm just have no filters going right now. So these are all the most popular ships for running Abyssals. Let's say, hey, I like this Povertila, and it gives you some highlights here of how much it's going to cost you, how much DPS it does, how tough it is, and you can see how many times that people have done, how many Abyss sites that people have run in this fit that they've reported to the website. So 464. This is a very popular fit, the Povertila. So if I click on this, it's going to let me take a look at it. It's going to be lots of statistics here. It's going to tell me about the fit. This person that uploaded this fit also has a really great description on how to use this fit. You can here look at the statistics on it, see how often it's been used, how many times it's been killed, and you have a lot of the detailed information here of, hey, they ran T4 Abyssals, T3 Abyssals. You can see how much money they made. Lots of information here. What's really useful is this break-even point. So based on people running the Abyss sites here and how much money they make, this calculates how long it would take for the ship to pay itself off. So that Povertila will pay for itself in 2 hours and 21 minutes of running Abyssals. That's all pretty useful. So let's say you want to use this. You just click on the Export tab and you'll see that string of text again right here. So you highlight it, copy it. Let's go to the ship fitting window. I'm going to import it, simulate it to make sure I can actually fly it. Of course I can't because this is my trading alt. And then when you're sure that's what you want to buy, then you just click on buy, and it'll do the multi-buy for it. So you can buy these parts, then ship them out to where you want to use it, assemble it there, and then fly it. Okay, another thing I'd like to talk about is the Abyssal Lurkers. This is a Discord, which I'll also link in the description below. So this is a fantastic Discord server with tons of absolutely great information, but you're going to find lots of fits here. So when you join this, and once you get your roles set, you go to the Abyssal Lurkers FAQ, and it's filled with tons and tons of great information. But if you just keep scrolling up, you'll see tons of fits here, and you'll see these strings of text here as well that you can just import into the game client, into the ship fitting window, and then buy these and assemble them yourselves. And they just have tons of very effective, cheap fits here. Tons of discussion on how to use them, and pretty much any question you could ever possibly have about running Abysses, you can find here in this FAQ. And if it's not covered in the FAQ, you can just come down and discuss it in the general chat. Or if you're interested in specific ships, like I'm interested in doing the Vagabond, there's just tons and tons of discussions here about the Vagabond. People are talking about it, sharing fits. You can share your fit and have people critique it. Additionally, if you click on the pinned messages, you will see some Vagabond, fits for each of these. There's some Vagabond fits here. If you go to the Gila, you'll see there's some Gila fits. And, oh, there we go. Here we go, some Gila fit discussions, some fits on there. So tons of really great information for that. Alright, so there is another video that I made to show you how to actually easily put these ships together based off the ship fitting window, where you don't have to piece by piece put everything together. I will link that video in the description below so that you can go watch that. And if you have any questions or comments, please drop it in the comment section, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. And I will talk to you next time. And until then, fly dangerous.